you've been, I'm not going to say a ardent or stalwart defender of Joe Barry, but you have pointed out that Barry's defense has done a pretty damn good job of keeping points off the board overall. Now,
And I mean, the
some
worst
of
thing
these
about Barry's
drives have come at
defense is run
inopportune
defense.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
of
worst, the
course.
worst thing about the defense, statistically, is the run defense, and I don't know that that's Joe Barry,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, we said this last night in happy hour. It's like you don't like that we're not a press team, and guess what? There's a lot of non-press teams out there that are pretty good defenses, and the defense did its
Yep.
job. But yeah, I'm not sick of the Joe Barry hate because I'm not really a Joe Barry apologist, and there's nothing I don't love Joe Barry as a coach. I think he's a good guy, and I think that I think that he's a good. I think that he is a linchpin for Matt LaFleur, right? So that, and even Matt
Mm-hmm.
said, like, we didn't do good enough. Like, the defense is not the problem if the offense doesn't score. And I think people dwell too much on what they want to see from the Packers defense that honestly, you really haven't seen a press team since like 1998, right? Like, I mean, maybe
Right.
99 is the last time we really played press in a real
Oh
way.
well, I don't know. I mean, I think the Al Harris
Slowick,
group that team like the press. That team, no, it was post Slowick, but they like to press. Al Harris,
Dom
Mike
Capers
McKenzie, that
didn't
group.
really press that much.
Not a ton. He did more than
He
Barry
did
does.
more than
But I
Joe
mean, look,
Barry.
Barry is the least of the team's problems. Is my point here? Is like he has gotten almost, not totally, but almost no help from the offense in most of these games. Like not everyone, obviously, but most of these games, Joe Barry has been keeping them in it. I mean, they have 10. The Raiders have 10 points heading into the fourth quarter on Monday night. That's a game where if you have a competent offense, it's probably 21-10 and you're just cruising and you think, now we can get after the quarterback. Let's go. But because the offense does absolutely nothing for 2-3 quarters, that leaves the playbook wide open for these opposing offensive coordinators in a league where everything is set up for the offense to succeed. Yeah, eventually things are going to bust. Things are going to break. You're not going to be able to hold them off the. And I mean, I don't think it was out of real frustration, but I didn't like completely dismiss those comments from Jair Alexander after the game where he was like, we just can't allow touchdowns. We got to score on defense. And he's saying it as a matter of fact, like, we just got to be better. We got to do, we got to help our team. Like, I don't think he was being
Yep.
acidic towards the offensive side of the ball, but he's not far off. You know what I mean? You're going to have to start scoring on defense if you're scoring fucking 10 to 13 points a game, especially against the
Yep.
worst defenses in the league.
Yep.
If you want to win football games, which is the whole reason they're out there, as a defense, what other mentality are you supposed to have? So yeah, the Joe Barry stuff, like I get frustrated in the moment. You know this, Corey, as my partner here on watch parties every week. I get frustrated at style of play stuff. That's, completely immaterial to the fact that Barry's defense, for the most part, has played winning football, i.e., games you should be winning with their output. Like, I don't think that's
Yep.
crazy. I don't think that's an insane statement. And I know fire Joe Barry thing is fueled in a lot of play style stuff, but also results from last season and, things that we've seen go completely awry. I don't dismiss it. I don't say it's invalid. But right now, Joe Barry is the least of this team's problems. That's my word heading into the bye week. That's what
No one on Twitter thinks that, by the way. No one.
I'm well aware. Like, definitely know that.
Like, if you took a
But hey,
poll of
you know
Packer
what?
fans, I feel like most of them would say Joe Barry is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
just crazy
I
to
think
me.
that's a
It's crazy.
popular refrain. It's certainly, yeah, popular on Twitter and the YouTube comment section at times.